Paul, good morning. Jaginder Rana here. The 10-minute drama. This is the topic of our discussion today. The 10-minute drama. The government intervention in quick commerce misreads why delivery personnel are in a rush. It's not about the promise to consumers, but because their incomes tied to the number of completed orders per day. So in India, time is a nebulous concept that is elastic and can bend like monsoon rubber, stretched endlessly without a whisper of a protest. Yet here we are, strangely stuck in a national debate over grocery deliveries in 10 minutes. The Union Labour Minister has quietly asked quick commerce companies to move away from the explicit 10-minute delivery advertising taglines. While it is heartening to know that India has suddenly woken up to the concept of road safety, a hitherto alien concept to most road users, changing marketing timelines is a mere public theatre. Indian quick commerce companies' promise of 10 minutes delivery is more of a marketing tagline than a legal commitment or even a liable customer promise. Unlike the erstwhile domino commitment of 30 minutes or free, there are no explicit consequences for not delivering in 10 minutes. Yes, there are implicit pressures that such a tagline can create because customers would expect delivery in a time frame. But now that customers' expectations are anchored around a specific number, so changing the tagline might not make a difference. Marketing department can remove the 10 minutes promise even as they come up with the innovative taglines rooted in the same anchored fact, such as delivery before your chai cools down or at your door before the ad break ends. So the ultra fast delivery promise is kept not by making delivery agents speed across the city and cover vast distances, but by strategic use of data, cheap labor and ability to locate warehouse in dense urban areas. Using demand data, quick commerce companies have strategically instituted dark stores to warehouse in localities where they can service many customers in short periods of time. Further, many of the deliveries are done on e-scooters, which have an inherent speed cap. So, on the algorithm side, the actual delivery time shown to customers is never fixed at 10 minutes. It is dynamic and is based on a dark store distance, traffic conditions, time of day, weather, and real time rider availability. More importantly, riders are not shown the delivery time promised to customers and are thus not pressurized to meet the deadlines. The real reason for the rush is the nature of gig work itself. Riders are paid for each gig they complete and will therefore want to complete one delivery as quickly as possible. So in order to be able to do another one, this will remain true irrespective of whether the delivery time promised is 10 or 30 minutes. So the equation for workers in the gig industry, India is very different from their counterparts elsewhere. Most of them do not view this as a freelancing project taken up to supplement income. Instead, earnings from gig work are the primary source of income for most people involved in it. Therefore, the biggest incentive is to maximize income in a limited time. So it would be unfair to place the entire burden of the failure of the Indian economy to produce jobs and livelihoods on one sector. A sector that is in fact providing income and livelihood to millions. It might be far from ideal to have the burgeoning youth of the country doing unskilled gig work that has no career trajectory, but there is something problematic about demanding Scandinavian Scandinavian labor standards in a country that just cannot generate enough jobs. During the recent first period, calls for greater government intervention to rein and quick commerce surfaced in response to the strikes by workers who felt they were inadequately compensated or protected. Simultaneously, thousands of other workers fulfilled holiday orders across India in record numbers, showing their revealed preferences, albeit in a constant choice environment. So, gig workers too have agency and will choose this until something better comes along. Now, back to road safety through a comment on X few days back, where not shot down as deflection and lack of accountability. These had more than an element of truth. Traffic rules in India are viewed as optional suggestions and not as mandatory dictates. Thus, the breaking of traffic rules is a pan-India society-wide problem. Indeed, it is not uncommon for police personnel to be seen driving in the wrong way. Enforcement is weak and rule breaking is the norm rather than the exceptions. Delivery personnel with the clearly marked uniforms visually stand out as the primary culprits. But in the absence of disaggregated publicly available data, it is premature to single out delivery personnel as uniquely culpable. It would also be naive to believe that delivery personnel will magically be transformed into model road users with the removal of delivery timeline limits. The road safety conversation is not the problem. The performative way it is being conducted is. We should demand that companies have lesser capacity in their algorithms, be transparent about the penalties for late deliveries. More importantly, companies are in a unique position to track riders and their road use partners and thus have the greatest amount of power to influence behavior. Companies should monitor and actively distinctivize rule breaking, such as riding in the wrong way. So they can also proactively publish accident rates among their delivery partners, which would allow analysts to check if these are higher than societal average. So asking companies to change taglines is a low friction, high visibility intervention that allows the state to be seen as acting without engaging in the politically harder work of enforcement. Infra reform or policy accountability, though it all lies the danger of moral licensing, where the removal of the 10 minutes marketing slogan will seem like fixing the problem, though it will do little to change on ground realities. Thank you very much.